Shouldn't dare the devil even once, cause you might slip in the trouble. Looking forward to renounce. Bad boy, don't be afraid about anything they throw at you.
Let's go.
Boy, we all know you can deal with bad
Ready to go? Okay,
guys all
awesome.
alone.
I will give you a call right now.
Anything they throw at you. Bad boy, just keep fighting to reach your milestone. Yeah.
How's it going? Very good. Can you give me 2 seconds to just quickly get some water? Okay, awesome. Just give me 1 second. We're back. All right, guys. I'm gonna be right back. See you get some water.
Here's another important point. Yes? Beneath all the casualness and all the wise cracking, there's a lovely, wholesome relationship. Here was something new, fresh, very charming. If all the people who contributed to the story got screen credit, it would look like a page from the telephone directory. Now that's why I'm here. I'm stuck.
Now you know what it's like to be in zone, surrounded by the baddies everywhere you go.
Alrighty.
Be careful so you get out of it safe and sound. And this is the last round, so you better be prepared, cause it might not be your best.
Okay. How's it going?
Well, I just got back from breakfast recently, so I feel like it's pretty good.
Nice. Or breakfast. Where are you from?
I live in Oregon.
Oregon. Okay, cool. So you had a little bit of a late day today, I guess?
Yeah. It's for me, it's currently only 2 o'clock. So
Okay, fair enough. Can I get you to turn your mic up a little bit? It's a little hard to hear you. I got you at 200 right now.
yeah, sorry. Me and my girlfriend share the same room, so I turned the gain down quite a bit for it.
No worries, no worries. I've got your VOD here coming up. Just 1 second. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been playing for? What are your goals, and what do you struggle with the most?
So I've been playing since I don't know when it was. The Sentinels of Light pack came out. I want to say that was about a year ago, maybe. I didn't really play it competitively because I just got done doing competitive Apex and Overwatch before that. So I was like, I just want a game to chill in, not really care about.
Yeah.
Started getting more and more hooked into it, and I used to actually be head of esports for an org. I was in charge of the Valorant team. And I was like, all right, I got to get back into this again.
That's awesome. What org were you a part of?
It's a smaller org out of the EU region. I went to in a called Cryptic, and actually I'm currently in the process of starting up my own org right now.
Oh, sweet.
With a business partner of mine, so that's coming up pretty soon as well, actually.
That's awesome. And how high of a competitive level were you with in Overwatch?
I got all the way up to the tier 2 scene. We ran
nice.
through Gauntlet, and we're one game off of actually going into contenders at that point.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I loved playing it. I played. I started playing it in COVID, and because I had nothing to do, and I'm like, I really don't want to play Valorant because like I was just playing Valorant, or not Valorant, but I was playing this game literally. Like before that, there was other games that were the same idea as Valorant, just like plant the bomb, defuse a bomb. It's been around since like 1.6 basically, or even earlier than that, 1.4, 1.5, all that. So Counter-Strike started off, and then there was a whole bunch of clones that followed off of that, and I've been literally playing this shit since like I was 12 years old, maybe even earlier than that. And just like, yeah, I got sick and tired of it, so I wanted to play something else. I jumped into Overwatch, and I had so much fun. I didn't get very high with it.
That's how Overwatch was. It used to be like it was the funnest game I've ever played and the most team-based game.
Yeah.
And then I come into the other games, it's like it's not as team-based. Like one person can actually carry you. Or
Yeah.
like, you can't do that.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to that. Like the one thing that when I went into Overwatch, I'm like, shit, I can't carry. Like that's what it felt like. I can't just shoot everyone in the head and win, right? So it was the opposite perspective. It was funny because I was being coached by Gunther, and he had the same mindset as you. He was like, oh, I hate these games where you get one shot in the head. I don't want that. I'm like, really? I love that because I can control everything or control more of it. So Yeah, it's interesting kind of shift for sure. But I definitely did enjoy it. So you don't like Overwatch 1 at all?
So I loved Overwatch. I absolutely I still love the game to this day, but after playing it for, putting in probably about 40 to 50 hours a week, it's like it's kind of I got burnt out on it way too quick.
Yeah, 40, 50 hours, quite a bit. That's pretty close to what I was doing. I might have been a bit more because I was playing 7 days, so I was playing like 15-hour days easily. So yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah, we were required if we weren't scrimming or doing strats or practicing certain things, it was you're playing ranked.
And what was your role?
I was a support main. I was the flex support.
Oh, nice, nice. I was a flex support as well.
I think best role in the game because you can carry from two ways, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Like I love Ana. Like landing the nades is like so satisfying, and yeah, Baptiste is great too. So
I was so sad when goats became meta because I was stuck in Lucio jail at that point.
right, yeah. Anyways, let's get into this. So, because you're an Overwatch player, I'm going to speak to you like an Overwatch player. There's going to be some things that I've learned from Overwatch that I've transitioned over to this game that work really, really well, including the question, what is your job in this comp? Which is something I'm going to be asking you during this. Big piece of this is understanding what it is that you should be doing so that you are supporting the team in the effort towards it. No different than if you were to play a tank in a, what comp am I thinking of? Brawl comp. All right, no different than if you were to play a flex support in certain comps, right? Like, how does your role fix and change based on the character that you have and whatnot? So we're going to be talking about that quite a bit. Here from TikTok, welcome in. Welcome in. Bat mains rise up. Dude, I was so freaking good with that. It was my aim just like
I thought
fucking.
I was good until I played ML7 and I realized I sucked.
I gotta play against him. I really want to play against him. I love his content. All right, so the big pieces of learning objectives that we have right here. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Let me just quickly do my 10 push-ups. I actually want to mimic his content once I can quit my job and just do this full time.
Yeah.
I want to do his content where he's doing that mindful Monday or whatever. What does he call it?
Yeah,
Mindset.
his content's amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah, I want to be able to do that for Valorant, where I'm like telling chat exactly what I'm thinking about in every single moment. It takes a lot of practice to do that, but I've done it before in the past, so we'll probably do it again. While I'm playing, I'm like 3, 2, 1, speak me here, da da da, all that good stuff. So I know that nothing does that quite a bit and does it well. But anyways, yeah. So the big things that we're gonna be focusing on and learning today is about your SOVAs. We're also gonna be talking about always facing the enemy, which is something we did in the last VOD. So where can the threat come from? Always looking that direction. We're also gonna be talking about your comms, which, by the way, I can tell you're an Overwatch player now because it all makes sense. You're communicating really well. I would say this is probably one of your best skills, which is very, very refreshing for me because nobody talks in Valorant and I'm sitting there going like, why aren't we saying anything? So definitely something that
I was the IGL, so I had to learn very quickly all of it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good that you picked that in. Sayonara, we did play a little bit of ranked. I went 2-1. I haven't finished my placements yet, so still working on it. I didn't do it on stream yet. I did it in Discord. But yeah. So those are the big ones. What are the things that you feel you struggle with the most?
I mean, it's so one thing you might see here, my SOVA play, because I'm mainly initiator player. I used to be a flex player, then a chamber player, and now I went back to my initiators. It's a totally different style between whether I go from SOVA to I go to my Fade or my KO. Because I am a lot more aggressive as Fade or KO, and that's more of what my actual play style is. And SOVA, I stay back a lot more, because I know I need all the info that you can give for post-play and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So you're not really showing where your pacing's supposed to be?
Right, yeah, the pacing going between the agents is the hardest thing for me at the current moment. And then also, SOVA, I'm comfortable on him, but not near as comfortable as I would be if I was playing Fade or KO in this one.
Okay.
Because we had the comp coming in, I was looking, I was like, I think SOVA would be better for this comp than a Fade or a KO would be.
Okay. We'll talk about comps later. and talk about the job before we go into this, so that will give you more clarity on the pacing and where you should be and whatnot. What other characters do you play?
Mainly it's Fade KO. So it's Fade KO, Sky, and SOVA are my main ones. I'll occasionally go to Breach on Fracture, and I have like a Neon or a Raze, but it's mainly going to be KO in that situation.
Okay, cool. So let's answer your first question. We had this comp here. What is your job in this comp?
My job is get the info on site and help enable Reyna in any way I can to entry on the site as well too. She can't actually be first contact per se, because I can use my drone or my dart or something in first contact for her.
Yes, your drone is number one, is the entry fragger in this comp. Okay, because if you look at your comp, who can take space really well in this comp? Exactly.
I can take space with the drone, or Reyna can follow behind with it as well too to help take that.
Who can take it quickly though?
Who can take it quickly?
Yeah.
Probably me with what I've got info wise.
You are getting info on space. You're not taking the space. You're not claiming it.
Okay.
Now, with the drone, you can clear out close angles. With the dart, you can clear out long range angles. That's all good. But you're just getting info on it. You can't take the space fast, right? There's 3 major agents as duelists that can take space quick. One of them is in the game right now. Which one is it?
I mean, quick space, I would assume it'd be Raze, Jet, and Neon. Really.
Raze and Jet are 2 of them, and then Neon is the 3rd one. Correct. Those are your space-taking duelists. Your support duelists are your Phoenix, your Yoru, kind of. You could be lurking with Yoru. Reyna, and then Phoenix. Are there any other duelists I'm missing? Is that 6? There's 6, right? I think there's 6. Yeah. So those are the big ones. You don't have any quick space-taking agents here. You have a lot of agents that like to play slow, right? Like for your KJ, for example, they're putting in place down certain utility and whatnot. They're playing generally pretty slow, pretty defensive. Sage is kind of the same idea, very defensive comp. Okay, so rushing straight out in a comp like this is going to be disadvantageous for you. Not saying that you can't make it work. By the way, what's your rank?
I ended the last act at gold 3. I'm currently sitting at silver 3 at the moment.
Okay, we're gonna give you gold. We'll give you gold on this one. Perfect. So we got gold set up into the rank. 10 push-ups owed. I owed another 10. I thought I already did them. I just did them, didn't I? I just did it. I literally just did it. Yeah, I just did the push-ups.
Extra push-ups.
Yeah, she's trying to make new sub. Yeah, I just did it. The one from here. What new one? I just did it right here. LMXX Gaming. I just did it, right? I just did that one. There's no other subs. I literally just did 10 push-ups. What are you talking about? I did. This is BS. This is BS. Trying to figure do push-ups. One up subbed. It's a follow. Yeah. See, you do this to me all the time. You're like, oh, here's another. No. It's follows, man. That's follows. You did that to me last time too. I'm like, Kaneko, that's a follow. That's a follow. And you're like trying to like add more. I'm like, no, it's a follow. Alright. Jeez Louise. Okay. So the point I was gonna make is who's the entry fragger in this comp?
I mean, will we use Sage for it so she can wall off and get a spot?
Not quite. Your drone is the entry fragger. Your Reyna is the second one in.
Entry fragger, yeah. Entry fragger is a drone.
Yes, entry fragger is a drone. So that being said, in this comp, you need to be up close, right? So you need to be further up close. Now, there's going to be other times where if you have a comp where you have a Raze or you have something like that, then you're still going to be entry fragger, but you need to be thinking about how do I space myself out accordingly, right? So you might be the last one in, but there's going to be certain sites where it's like that will change a little bit. Okay, so the first point I want to make, and I talk about this a lot, is before I get into that one, what about how does your role change when you are playing against an eco?
Against an eco? I mean, I have a lot more, I guess, a lot more delay with the shock darts against an eco, because they're gonna try and just roll down on us here.
Kaneko, I need you to read the notification. She just looked at it. Oh, right, I was right. It's another 10, and it's a follow. Kaneko, jeez, what are you trying to do? You trying to make me jacked? Like, what the hell? Sorry, you were saying. I apologize. I got distracted again.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in an eco, my role as a SOVA here would be to try and figure out where they're at and potentially go the opposite way, because in eco they're gonna try to stack up and kill us as quickly as they can.
Bang on, bang on. So that's important to know, right? So your utility is super key to be able to figure out and suss out if there's a stack on a site, because those are the two things. The two things you have to worry about in eco is if they're going to be aggressive onto you because they're trying to find those close range fights, or they're going to stack a site and be really ratty, right? So perfect, you got it, bang on. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, if we go back a little bit further, I want you to delete your tracker. Here's the reason why. It's going to work against you in your head. You're looking at all this stuff, you're like looking at ranks, it doesn't matter. All these stats are like, whatever, right? If you were to compare these stats to an Immortal, it'd be very similar. But if you put the Immortal against the Iron player that's on your team, what's going to happen? She's going to get run over. So like, it's circumstantial to the moment. Also, if you were to think about it, how many or what stats help you with your communication? Well, how do you know which stat coverage or communication, how well you do with that?
I mean, on tracker, I don't think there's really any of them.
There's none.
Really?
Exactly. Is communication an important part of this game?
Very.
Extremely. Okay, so you can't track that through a comm, right? Does your tracker does your tracker track plant position, like planting in a proper spot or planting in the worst spot? Doesn't do that. Does it track you doing, I don't want to say comms again, but I can literally just go forever on comms. There's a whole bunch of things, right? I don't need to go on this forever. I've done this before, right? The tracker gives you a very narrow view of what is going to be your performance indicators. So anything that you look at here is going to disservice you, because you might think like, oh wow, my team lost like 5 in a row, oh my god, I'm gonna lose, right? Like any of that kind of crap getting into your head is just not going to make it work. Can a person who's lost 5 games in a row still win this game? 100%, right? So it's more often when there's back at the right time. Wendler talks about this all the time. It's more often going to disservice you than service you, right? It puts bad thoughts in your head altogether. Okay, so let's see how this round plays out. This is where I'm going to start giving you credit right away, because you're already calming more than 85% of my students.
Oh my god, I got
Let's see me.
Outside box.
Okay, so why the shock dart?
So the shock, in the pre-plan of it, I told him to let me dart out first before he take anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I can get info on backside and then I can drone up to get them in. And the shock was already in my mind of I'm going to shock CT for a walkout just in case. And I looked as I went to go jump to shoot it that she'd already walled it.
Okay.
So I was like, well, it's kind of a wasted shock. I'm already here. So.
Okay, and this is one of your trios, I'm guessing, right? She's in chat with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so she can be communicating for that for you as well. Correct. Okay. But yeah, my comment was gonna be, look at your minimap, you don't need to do this. Now, you could use these shock darts instead to set up a lineup. So you can be playing at long right now. In fact, that's what you should be doing. I would say you rotate back towards long, you have your double shock, you can play off that lineup if you wanted to, okay? You decide to go here. And because you do that, this shock dart again. Watch what happens to your teammate here. We're going to talk about Sage. Watch Sage here. You should be at long, by the way, at this point. Because post plant's already started. That death's on you. That fight should have happened right here and here, and it should have been you fighting her. Okay? So it's a fraction of a second. So if we go back, positioning is everything in this game. Okay? If we think about it, it's like, I'm trying to relate it to flex healing as much as I can. when you are playing in a brawl comp with Baptiste, you first come together and attack, and then afterwards you stretch. Confirm or deny? You've played a higher level than me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're with them, but you're back far enough you can see everything to help out.
Correct. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm trying to say. So there's two ways to determine if you're in a post-plant situation. The first one is if you have back lane control on a bomb site. So you have back lane control right now. The second one is when there's 2 people killed on the opposing team. So if you get any one of those 2 factors completed with a check mark, post plant's officially started, even if the bomb hasn't been planted yet or started to be planted. Okay? So at that point, just like your brawl comp, you need to stretch from the site. And you need to think about how many entryways into the bomb site do I have full control over. Currently, we have 0 because you're not in position for it. So what you need to do is you realize post plant started, I need to control this entryway into the bomb site. So my job, because I'm the last one in, is to actually fall back. This gives you options. You can fight the person in the back and clear that area and make sure that you're safe. And you also have your shock darts that you can eventually build a lineup for to be able to defeat anyone trying to plant the bomb or defuse it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So should I have instead went to that back left cubby there?
You fall back
like where
here.
Cubby is, but fall back left side.
Yeah, you
and
fall
kind of sit there watching the walkout.
watching the flank. You're basically going to be back here on B main and watching the flank. You can stand right here if you want to on this corner, and you can fall back to cubby and say they're on flank if you have like a bunch of people pushing you, right?
Okay.
So yeah, you going back here, how many control, like what do we have control over in terms of the entryways? By control, I mean you need to physically either be in it or like challenging it.
So we've got CT control, and that's basically it right now.
Technically we do, technically we don't. We have utility that can be broken. So technically we do, I'll give it to you. You technically have half control over garage, but not fully, because they can still use this as an entryway to get in. They could break this, become in, and go in there. So we technically have no control based on the positioning that we have. We have 0 control over flank. Okay? So what can happen is you can get pinched on multiple angles if you're not in position to defend it.
One long. And can you play cross with me here?
Oh shoot, my game's doing a weird glitch right now.
Garage dead.
I think you committing here to that fight is fine. The other option you had was challenging the jet early. So this was fine.
Just play cross.
What about playing cross?
Play cross angle, so that way if one of you dies, you can get traded.
What rank are they?
They're both sitting in gold right now, but I think it's also like I learn more of the game at a higher level before I can play it fully.
Yeah.
So I sit in a lot of like Immortal Radiant scrims, so I hear a lot more and see a lot more than what the average gold player would see and hear.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, it's an important thing because you're taking the role on as a coach and a leader right now with this. So you need to always speak to the audience that you have in front of you. And I think in your mind, like everyone's thinking at the same level as you, and that's totally fine. You've played at that high level for a while now, which is great. In this situation, it's kind of like you're playing with children, right? And when you speak to a child versus speaking to an adult, your tonality changes, things change like that, right? So in this situation, we need to make it as simple as possible for the people that are trying to understand us. So instead of playing a cross angle or playing anything like that, say, bait me here or do this, right? People think in much simpler terms. So you got to appeal to the audience that's in front of you. So it might be changing a couple of words. We'll take a look at some of the things that you say and be like, okay, try saying this at this rank instead.
Okay. Just play.
Like, for example, at a high level, I would say, swing off my contact. In a low rank lobby, I'll say, bait me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've said swing off contact with me before, and a lot
And
of
people are
those
like, what the
I've
fuck are you
said
talking about? Yeah. Exactly. So you gotta appeal, yeah, you're leading a bunch of sheep when they're correct.
doing
Yeah.
a weird like hop skipperoni. What server are we on?
Illinois.
Illinois.
Ah,
Wait, where? Oh my god, you guys are PST.
yeah.
Okay, so playing against ecos, as we said, you have a very specific job. Your job is to get information on stack. So throwing in a dart like this is okay as long as it doesn't sit in that smoke, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Drone out for you before you go out. Or she can just fucking run it.
Okay, so you said, or she can just run it. Are you referring to the Rays or are you talking about Lolo?
The Reyna. The Reyna. So I was talking to the Reyna, the drone out, and she just ran out straight onto site itself.
Okay.
Yep, run it out.
I was gonna.
Because I was going to
wanted
say,
sit there and drone out because I don't trust. I've died too many times from either graffiti or that close right corner. So I always want to clear it beforehand.
be very careful because I thought this was going to be a stack and you just got scanned. So this is not safe anymore. So any kind of smoke they throw down, you can get shot through very easily.
One flanking, one flanking.
Flanking.
They know you're here, so you might need to change
Drone
position.
in CT.
One flank, one heaven. There's going to be one CT to your left-hand side, one to your right probably. Okay, there's probably two in heaven at this point, which is weird. There's short. Okay.
Good job.
Oh, guys.
Oh,
They forced as
God.
well, too, I think.
Yeah.
When you say force, what does that mean?
So I'm pretty sure that when I say that one, they forced up either some type of weaponry, like sheriff, something like that, instead of just full saving. So my force is they didn't full save on it.
Let's see. Go back even further. Let's take a look at the situation.
What server are we
Let's watch the kill feed.
Illinois.
Illinois.
Ah,
Wait, where? Oh my god, you guys are PST.
yeah.
Guess you should tank in Overwatch.
That's okay.
Forgive me for being EST.
Let me drone out for you before you go out.
What gun do they have on the ground there? That's a classic. And that's a frenzy.
Got him.
Yep, run it down.
Yeah, I think the frenzy is why I assumed they forced on that one.
Well, the frenzies only, remind me if I'm wrong, $400, $500,
450.
450.
One flanking, one flanking.
Flanking.
Drone in CT.
Chasm! That's such a great story. So he's like, I remember one time I said bait me, and my random teammate legit said, no, I'll just play off your contact. And he's like, not gonna lie, I teared up. That's beautiful. He understands me.
Long. Brandon behind.
CT clear.
Good job.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think seeing the frenzies made me think they forced a better weaponry than full
As well,
saving.
too, I think.
Yeah.
so one way you can know and confirm it is watch the money on the next round. So tab. Boom. They can all buy. Okay. So that's just one way of just like figuring it out for yourself.
It's one step closer to being back in pajamas. Back in pajamas.
All right. So you're very good at calling mid rounds, but I want to make sure that it's a little bit better for this game because you've probably done it a lot in Overwatch, which is great. Unless your tank was taking most of the strat calling, but mid round on the fly, suggestion strats, choosing fight ranges, right tool for the right job. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to unpack on this round. In fact, I can probably spend in the next 2 rounds most of the hour and a bit on it. There's a lot that goes on here. Yes, there's a lot that goes on here. Socials here, gaming. If you want to hop into Discord, we do 10 mans. We do a lot of free seminars, whatnot. But you can also reach out to me directly for coaching. Coaching is $50 US per session. That will be going up to 60 eventually. So probably by February. So if you lock in now, then you're all good to go.
Isn't this our bonus? Why are they buying?
Because they died.
I'm ghosting it out.
We have lesser guns, but should probably take B here because they're probably gonna pull by everything.
Cool. I like the strat. I hate going B. Like, period. If you're gun round for gun round, it's like not a good site to hit. However, if you're on an eco or a bonus, fantastic. It's great. The reason being is that it's an equalizer fight situation. If you have sheriffs, you have close range weapons, you want to take close range fights. So you want to force them into those ugly fights, ugly scenarios. That's where the B site comes into play. So I love that. Now what we want to focus on in this round is how to change up on the fly based on the information that we get. How's it going? Sadis, Umut14. Welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. If you have questions while we're doing this, feel free to fire away. Because we have one on B, left-hand side. What happens here? I don't mind the strat. I think going for 2 kills, getting bombed down B is great. Perfect. Yeah, this is all great. Cool.
Oh my, oh lord.
They fucked up. They gave us guns.
Throwing it up.
Good job. Pick up a gun.
Here.
I can heal you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right, Ray's right side. Sova's also right.
Did he dart you and you darted him? Like, what happened there? Oh, wait, he darted...
I think he tried to. I think he darted my drone.
Yeah, he darted the drone. Yeah, that's what happened.
Ray's
I was a little confused there in
Sova's
that
also
moment.
right side.
Should we?
That's how I thankfully knew Sova was there as well too from it.
All right, this is a beauty moment. Things have just gotten really, really good. Okay, so we got 2 kills. Where's Ray's?
Ray's is still on B site.
B
She
site.
might have went towards C link, but she's still on B site by itself.
Beautiful.
Up.
So we know where Ray's is.
Good job. Pick up a gun.
Here.
I can heal you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right, Ray's right side. Sova's also right side.
Should we?
One fling.
Jets behind, dead.
Ooh, that dart. Ooh, that dart.
There's Sage. Where's Ray's?
If I had to guess, still sitting C link or pushing down garage 1 to 2.
Well, Ray's was seen here, right side B, because she threw out her utility. So she was on the right-hand side.
And then
So-
when KJ peeked B to kill the Sova, Ray's was not seen there. That's why I assumed she went towards the C side.
So here is a really easy way to clean up rounds. You take all 3 of your people. With attrition, you all push out and go towards the long extremity of A or the long extremity of C. And the reason for that is because if you go down a center path, you create an opportunity where she can rat you out on a certain angle and create a multi-frag. But if you all go through one of the long extremities on either side, you're more likely keeping her in front of you, and it's easier for you to get a trade on that kill and win out the round. So now we're in this beauty position where we can easily win this round. We have guns down, things are looking good. If you wrap over to A, you're going to have a Vandal yourself. Things are looking real pretty. So we just need to keep that advantage and all push together through one angle, plant the bomb, play off of that.
Nice. Ray's is B. Go C. Go C. Go C. She's B.
Go see.
Run C. She's still
Okay, so going through here could be dangerous. We did see her here, but she could have crossed over to where you were saying that. And if she's in the window, it could be a bad situation for us.
Can't cross.
You hear him on B. Hear on B. Okay, so you hear on B. You hit her 5 times. Okay, I know this because I've watched it. This gun absolutely sucks at long range. I'm going to further explain why this is so bad when we look at your damage on this one, okay? You took this fight. What gun does she have?
Vandal.
She has a Vandal. Who has the advantage on this fight if she were to re-peek you? Don't peek it then. Run away. As soon as you hit those 5 shots, you call out. She's left side B. She's going towards window. You hide in the corner. Okay? You can use a scanning dart to like pop off here, and let it sit there. And then if you know that you're free and you're safe, then you can start running away over towards garage or C-long. Either one. Okay? You cannot sit here and wait for this fight because if you do, she will re-peek you and this will happen.
Plant.
Now, this is further emphasized. I want you to look at the damage report. You hit her 5 times. Look at the damage you did. That's trash. 97. Okay? You have a disadvantageous fight, regardless of being a Phantom or a Vandal when you're at long range. So you need to quickly tell yourself, this is not a fight that is ideal for me. Even though I hit these 5 shots, it still did spit for damage. Okay? Unless you hit that headshot, which is still not that great, it's not a great fight for long range. Make sense?
Yeah.
97 on Ray. She's going CT. Make sure you check garage as well.
I'm watching.
Play back.
You should be able to win this round. Yeah, this is good. She wins it.
Doing her
Whatever
own
it is.
rosy with it.
Loop the killer, or not.
Nice.
Okay, one thing I want you guys to do actively, both of you, is let her play. Just let her play. Because here's the thing. What rank is she right now?
Right now she's sitting at gold 1.
Gold 1. Did she play at a high level in Overwatch?
No, this is actually her first FPS game.
Cool. Do you remember the first time you ever played Overwatch or first time you ever played Valorant? Were you as good as you are now as you were then, or did you learn how to do it over time?
I learned how to do it.
How'd you learn it?
Either by watching or failing.
Failing. I love that. You made mistakes, right? The big key for Coffee Bean to grow out of her rank is for her to make a shit ton of mistakes. She needs to make a lot of mistakes. That's the way that we grow, right? We need to be put into uncomfortable situations. You're actually stunting her growth as a player every time someone suggests her doing something, because she's got a mindset of her own. She's thinking about what she wants to do, and she needs to be punished over and over and over again and shown the wrong way of doing things before she can finally develop into the player that she's supposed to be. She has to be willing to be put in that situation, and you have to be willing to be able to give her that opportunity to grow as a player the same way that someone did for you, right? So it's so important that you let failure be her greatest teacher. If she decides to ask you afterwards what it is that she should have done, then by all means, help her out. Like, I will never coach someone unless they straight up say, Worthy, what should I have done there? Then I'll be like, no problem. I'll tell you exactly what you should have done. But I'm never going to, in the moment, tell them exactly what to do. I stay away from that altogether, because it's my responsibility to make them the best player that they possibly can be. And I can't let that happen if I'm constantly speaking over their own thoughts.
Let's go.
Fair enough?
4K.
I know how hard it can be because you're like, oh, I want to get my all this other stuff, right?
So
It's tough, but like you got it. You're doing it for them. You're doing it for them.
definitely worth it.
Can we skip this round? I already know how bad this round is.
I don't want to skip any round, man. So
I know what's so wrong about this round
Start
already.
here.
I
What's
watched
wrong?
it back when I sent it to you. I was like, oh god, he's gonna destroy this round.
yeah, I got a novel on this one. What's wrong with this round? You tell me right away.
Well, we just won their gun round. They're on an eco.
Yeah.
And we have to worry about pushing directly into them. And honestly, the last time they ecoed, they set someone's sewers.
And they put aggressive, right?
Yep. And I don't think we actually checked sewers. I think I just ran down into it, if I remember correctly.
So it's funny that you said that, because you literally read it exactly. The first point I made on this round is reading tendencies. When someone does something specific on an eco round, for example, it tells you a little bit about that person. This person was aggressive last time. So is it possible we're going to see some aggression towards sewers again? Yeah. Is it going to be the same character? Maybe not. Maybe not the same person, but we've seen aggression. So we know that that's a possibility, and we got to be very careful of that. Okay. The other thing that's super important on this round, I want you to watch what you miss doing here.
Definitely worth it.
And I do not count this.
Silver, like, isn't there like a gold greenish looking one?
What did he miss, chat?
Asher, can you put a start here and immediately recall it so we can push up across?
Not shield.
Did I have bought someone there?
I'll watch her.
No. I'm doing this purposely because you do press it. You do press tab. But you don't press it long enough for my liking.
I don't
Okay.
press tab long enough to see what. Cause yeah, now looking there, they might put Jet up to get her knives, and A, or C, or somewhere to get her knives, or Raise to get her alt, or one. of
Yeah.
those.
You didn't take in that threat. You might have said, oh, they're all 3,000. That's great. But I want everyone in chat, from this point on, if the round starts, you hold it for at least 10 seconds. I don't count it as a tab press unless it's at least 10 seconds. You got to be able to have that much time to be able to read what's going on and make a plan off of it. Because if you had read all of this, and I'm not saying that you didn't because you knew that they were on eco, but if you had taken all this in, you might have been like, hey, they're on eco, let's run it down somewhere. Or maybe be careful because they might be pushing to play for an orb here. That's also a possibility. At a higher level, they're going to play for orbs all the time. At this level, they're probably not. They're not even going to realize that orbs are a thing, right? But it's important for you to take all that in because you click this and it looked so fast to me
Definitely worth.
that I don't think you took in enough information. 1, 2,
Isn't there like a gold?
Yeah, I think I just looked at just the money, and that was it to verify they were on the eco.
Fair enough. I'm glad that you did that. And I think most people would just look at the KDA in that situation. So I have a feeling from talking to you that you're telling the truth in this one because you have done this before within Overwatch as well, right? Pressing tab, taking a look at the alt situation, where we're at, you know, all that stuff. Hey, I was wondering, do you watch the video on your own before you watch it with your student? Yes, I do. Yeah. Unless it is a live VOD, then we do it on the fly, which is also fun too because I can show you exactly what I'm thinking about every single moment. But yeah, that's what I try to do. Welcome in, Pixie.
Good trade.
Okay, so that was the first piece. Is you know what's the thought process on all that stuff. So let's see here.
So, initially, I wanted a star for us to cross to go to sewers.
You
Try
wanted
to
it
get
here,
into Sewers to split up there.
and you wanted it there, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if they're gonna peek off there, that's exactly where they'd peek out at, and then it'd be an easy peek out because we would see their gun before they got out.
Okay. They're on eco. Well, that's our assumption. We want to take this fight. So the smoke is fine. Or not having the smoke is fine. But let's say that we wanted... E-Boy Rob, thank you so much for the raid, my friend. I appreciate you. Welcome in. Thank you for bringing your lovely community over. I hope your stream was fantastic. If you haven't met me before, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Worthy TV. I'm a professional Valorant coach. So if you have any questions at any point in time, feel free to fire away in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for coming by. E-Boy Rob, how was your stream? All right, so you talked about throwing a smoke here. Totally fine. Let's say that you want to have a smoke for a round, like a gun round, for example, and you want to cross on it. This smoke here isn't as great as it could be if you were right here on the spot.
By the box.
Yes, on brick.
Okay.
Okay. That way, if you have the smoke there, you can cross freely and they won't have information on you. But if you place a smoke here, well then, if I'm the Reyna, I'm peeking out. I'm holding the spot, right? If I'm any kind of character, I'm holding that spot and then I'll fall back into the smoke. That smoke actually supports me. So I can peek out a little bit wider and then hold that off angle and then peek back in, right? So you're still going to be able to get information out of it. It's kind of counterproductive to what you're trying to do. But if you throw that smoke a little bit closer to you by the brick, then it does exactly what you're asking for. Okay.
I'll watch our booty cheeks.
Yeah, so this one, you know what's going on. This is a threat angle, you have an animation, and they've done this before where they've pushed aggressively. By the way, she just pushed aggressively. So where do you think your teammate's going to go? Probably aggressive as well, right? They're trying to take space here. There's a lot of tells, and it's mostly just you being prepared for the push altogether and reading the tendency early on, right?
I kind of baited you there.
Oh shit.
So I have a little bit of a bad feeling about this because when two people push down right there, it gives me anxiety from things that happened before where I think there might be a stack on the site because two people suiciding might set like one person here and one person here or one person here up for a perfect setup because you right away, you think, oh, the site must be clean. If you get 2 kills really fast off the hop, my recommendation, especially against Nico, is to cancel and go back towards the opposite site. Because if you think about it, when you get that first kill, what is Jet telling her team? Worst case scenario.
At least one main, but she probably saw everyone cross, so she's probably saying all main. Or
Yeah.
all A, 1 to
So
2.
where are they going to be at this point? They could be in the smoke. They could be in sight if they're already stacked in the right position. They're already here. So we might as well just cancel at that point, right? And that's like a general rule, I'd say. Is like if you get a kill super early, like 10 seconds into the round, and she's seen like 3 or 4 of you, get the hell out of dodge. Reset.
Because then you have to address you.
I'm gonna watch our flank.
Okay. This is confusing to me. Because both of you want to watch flank. But do you have to watch flank?
No, because we got the alarm bot back there.
Correct.
I got flank.
You got flank? Well, I have my.
I'm gonna drone
So-
flank, guys.
This drone also is counterproductive because the range in which you can take it is in the range of this KJ ult. So you guys kind of counterproducted each other with that.
So if I did it to check more out, I should have
Am I
went
clear?
farther up for it.
If you really wanted to, yes. Because there's no way they're going to push into that ult this early.
Trade me sides. They don't know I'm here. Trade me coffee.
Evan.
Thanks for the pop quiz there, Kanika. I like that. You have to make them way harder. Good idea. I think, I don't know if you can spam this. I haven't tested it, but if you're going to do it, you have to do it. What's up?
I don't think you can. After I tried it in a range later on. You actually can't spam it.
If you do it straight on, it might be different, but if you do it on a diagonal, it won't go through.
Okay.
Yeah, try it straight on next time, because I haven't tested it myself. I know that this wall here, if you shoot it straight on, or this wall, you can spam through it. I'm not sure about that one. So it can't be on a diagonal. You'll know if something's spammable. I think you probably already know this because you've already tested it. You know if something's spammable if the hole in the wall is like a dark circle in the middle. That's what they told us back in beta. All right, so the last lesson to learn about this round is you always face the enemy. Always face where the threat is coming from. Because you never know when something sad like this might happen.
No!
No! Right? You could easily S-key out of here. The other thing, too, is that you're running down here to avoid the bomb exploding, correct?
I'm taking the longest way out. at that point.
Exactly. Exactly.
You win
So
this.
you do very good with reviewing your own VODs, which I appreciate.
No!
No.
You overthunk it.
Die.
Lolo just kept him in there, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, why did you choose to run long?
She called you out on your shit there.
Because it looked like he was running towards low.
No, he wasn't.
He took off and he
They're
stopped.
very good at calling me out when I do something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you need to do is take extreme ownership in these moments and everything in life if you can, and just be like, yeah, I fucked up. Just say it. It's good. Because like if you sit there and try to defend yourself, it's just like, don't even, just let it go. Because if you keep doing that kind of stuff, not take extreme ownership, it can hold you back in a lot of things, a lot of aspects. You could have been just like, I wanted to check out the decor. I wanted to take a look at the bricks again. I really like that part of the map.
Place a
You know,
smoke
anything.
here, and right here, we can just do a C split. Take 2 garage and 3 C long.
Alright, I'll go.
Oh, that's an easy one. It's an easy quiz. Good Nico.
Sure likes to come through.
Could be pushed up mid.
Is this ours?
Be mindful of where your crosshair is on some of these moments.
Let me drone garage first.
Okay. Oh, someone's there.
So she should be following the drone in. Okay, we see her on the right. Should be an easy spam. She doesn't have to chase, you can just spam it.
Good job, good job.
Could be in the smoke here. There she is. So you're probably okay. Yeah.
Good shit. Good job, guys.
I was worried about that. Reyes being in actual window at that point, but she was waiting at CT
Extra money.
based on my timing.
Oh, I can buy you, Lolo.
Thank
There we
you. Thank you, thank you.
There's some points I want to make to you about this round. If we look at the economy, there's points in the game where I call them TSN turning points if you're Canadian. TSN turning point is like, if you win this round, it's really good for us, really bad for them, right? So they ecoed last round, and it's going to cost them $3,900 to be able to purchase things in this round. So immediately, the following round, Jet will have 0. We go through all the math. They're all going to be in low money. They're on a 4-round loss bonus, which means they're going to make $2,900 in the following round. So if you do the math really quickly, there's going to be a couple people that can full buy the following round if they go through it, but a lot of them are going to be half buying or ecoing. So in this round in particular, we really want to win this one, We want to find a way to do it. Now that might be getting orbs to build up an alt, right? Could be like setting up certain strategies to be able to generate a win condition. But if we win this one, it means we win the following round as well because they're going to be on eco, right? We immediately assume we should be in a winning position should we win this one for the following round. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? This is how momentum is built on this particular game.
So on this round
Which our
here, because I
Astra
call
likes to
out to
come
do the
through.
C split with the Astra stars, and misplaces the second star. I want the garage walkout. Should I have said wait, or tell them to wait for us to get through garage to explode the site together?
The
Or
group,
just let them run up.
the group hits first rather than the smaller group. Group hits first rather than smaller group. If you're going to take garage control so that these guys are okay, they don't have to worry about it, then you need to be putting pressure on garage. If you're getting smoked off here, then you're in trouble. You can't really move in. So that's where you need to calm. Slow down, slow down. We can't hit garage. Could be garage, could be garage.
Okay.
Okay. But generally speaking, you want the group to hit first. The reason why is that they have a higher percentage chance of trading.
Okay.
So you can cancel really easily if it's not good. But if you guys go in there and you get completely destroyed, then it's not, there's no value.
Good job.
One enemy remaining.
Good shit. Good job, guys.
Trying to get us.
Yeah, I said in my notes, I just want to say you're such a great leader. I'm so impressed with how you ask for things and your positive demeanor. Be more like Azeru. How do I say it? Reiru? Azeru?
Thank you.
Everyone calls me Az or Azza.
Az. Be more like Az, chat.
Because they're on eco, so they might just push.
Sounds wrong. Be more Az. All right, so I'm gonna do a scoreboard assessment. Let's take a look. I like these. So let's do a scoreboard assessment. What do you think they're going to do this round?
If I had to guess, they're going to aggress up because they're on eco, but they have a raise alt and a jet alt, which can actually turn the tide of any round, just those two alts by themselves.
Yeah.
So they might try a sneaky play with Astra or something that they haven't done yet, or they might just aggress somebody up like they have been every other round.
Well, we are playing in gold, so I'm going to assume that there's going to be absolutely no sneaky play with this wall or anything like that because they're not that big-brained. But they do know how to press their what is it, I guess X key for default. They know how to press that button. So I'm assuming they'll press this button, they'll press this button, and then this guy will probably never use it. We can take we'll test it in chat, guys. I don't remember if he does, but what do you guys think? Do you think that the opposing Astra is going to use her wall at any point in time during this half? I don't know. It might be tough. We'll see. Nah? Nervous says no? Okay, cool. All right. Anyways, if we're looking at what they're going to do, we need to make an assumption. So, first of all, I see them stacking A or forcing judges because of how high some of their money is. So they might be doing some ratty plays towards A. That's my guess, right? Raze could use alt. Jet could use an alt to be able to force buy someone. All that good stuff. So you got the right track there. Now the strat that you can do if you're not going to run them down is work in pairs. Just work in pairs. That way you can get trades. That's the big key. So you can just comment at the beginning, work in pairs. Let's go slow, and then we'll hit something late.
Coffee, can you go watch C long?
Yeah, I'll watch C long. Oh, Astra's going C long. I'll watch C long with Astra.
So remember, either going to be aggro. Okay. Okay. We've seen this situation several times. Right? If the jet, or sorry, if the Raze pushes aggressive on an eco, what's the jet going to do?
You're going to push aggressive as well. Use
Yeah.
the same site.
Right here on long, more often than not.
Raises A. Okay. A's weak. Let's go A.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Boom. There was a stack. There's your jet. We definitely need to go towards A. We only have one on A. Good call.
40 garage.
Down mid.
Okay. Watch out for garage.
Astra's garage tagged for you.
Drone and B. You wanna know where Astra is?
I think you know where both of them are. I think you missed a ton of info. Let's go back.
Okay.
Go back a bit. Start again. Let's watch the mini map. So Raze is at A. Sova left side B.
Raze is A.
Jet,
Okay.
Sage.
Let's go A.
There's Astra. Garage.
Astra garage. Okay.
Down mid.
They stacked towards C. They're playing like a big grouping in garage.
Watch out for garage.
Raze will come in from the right.
Tagged for you.
So there's nobody A right now.
Drone and B.
See, the tendency is they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Like, you've seen this before. You've been here before. Right? We've seen this once, at least once. We desperately needed to go A here.
So you can go across.
In the remaining. She got her.
This was like a mid-round thing. That was a problem.
No, let's go A. Go A.
Okay, this is high risk right now. So, here is the way that high-level coaches will call you for this one. I know what you're going to do here, and it could work, but it also leads into a big risk. You're going to play aggressive and hide in this corner. The problem is when you hide in that corner, she can come at you from the right and come at you from directly ahead. So you're putting yourself into a situation where there's multiple threats that can swing you out on. Okay? What is the easy way of doing this is playing attrition. You take both of your players, you run it down long, you can play together, one person plants, and you defend them. That way it makes it a little bit easier to be able to isolate a fight. If you go through here, you have the benefit of being able to hear where she's rotating from. But you also run the risk, see how you're flicking back and forth here? That means you're out of position. You can't keep the enemy in front of you. It's really difficult to do that. You run the risk of her doing anything, like walking up grass on you and shooting you in the side.
30 seconds left.
Plant it, dude.
He can't.
I think he had a bug. But anyways, you had multiple threat angles. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the safest...
I've never actually sat there in that one before, which is really weird. I did it because typically I'll sit in that little cubby outside B and watch across that way if I'm going to sit there.
That works too. Regardless, I think in that situation, playing with your team is like the surefire way of winning that situation.
So where would I have sat whenever he was doing that one? Would I have sat long watching Heaven or watch the CT angle there?
Depends on where he's trying to plant as well. Like if he is planting open, let's say for example we open up here. My recommendation for him to plant, let me just switch this over. What the hell's going on? Okay. So if he's in this situation and you are, sorry, what character are you again? I can't remember.
Sova.
You're Sova. Okay. And then he was Reyna. So if he goes in the site and he decides to plant open, then while he's planting, you're watching Heaven for him.
Okay.
And then he can rotate back towards here, or he can rotate back towards you, whatever the case may be. So he can watch long, and you can be like back here, kind of like watching here, and falling back into it. That was a lot of scribbles. Basically, let me do this again. You be planting there, one here. He's watching this direction, and you can fall back right here and watch her.
Okay.
To creep up in there. That means they can only come from the right hand side if he's going onto site. And you can just peek together. You go 3, 2, 1, swing out together, and you just win the fight.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. This
So
usually
back to your double up thing.
Yeah. Usually, if you double up on a fight like that in a 2v1, you're probably on the right track to being right. Could your thing have been correct too? 100%. Totally could have been right. Right? But I would say that percentage-wise, you want to go for the percentage play. That's probably the higher percentage chance of winning.
Right. I need to change.
But yeah, that's what I figured because he was trying to plant it for a while and it wasn't working.
We're going to review this one together because I didn't make a note. So let's take a look.
Alright.
Now
What
it's
do
on
we
that.
want to do? Do we want to do A?
Oh yeah, this is when I
No,
remembered
let's-
your TikTok and changed my push to talk key to my mouse button.
I was gonna ask you, what's your push to talk key?
It was the V key, and I used my index finger for a while. And I was like, oh
Yeah,
wait.
big no. What was your
So
push
now
to talk
it's
key
my
in,
thumb.
in Overwatch when you played ranked?
Funny enough, my pinky finger on the left control.
Why don't you have it there?
I don't know. It's not as comfortable anymore. I don't know why. I tried it again. It just wasn't as comfortable.
How do you crouch?
I actually have crouch bound to my alt key, so my space bar, I move my thumb over for it.
Okay. Yeah, that's the button I use for push to talk. Is my left alt, and then my control key is used with my pinky finger because I want my pinky finger to be free to work with it. The thumb can still be kind of fluid and moving around and whatnot, and I don't need to jump so much in this game, so it's not like it's a super important. So the mouse button. Here's the drawback with a mouse button. I want you to hold your mouse like you normally would when you're trying to aim. Okay? Let me know when you got that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm now going to run through a scenario with you. Let's say that you are taking a fight. Should you be communicating when you're fighting?
I mean, it depends on what the type of fight is. You know, if it's a 1v1, if I'm like playing an angle with them, or if I'm just full on, you know, in a spray fight with them.
You should be communicating when you're fighting. I will show you a TikTok of what it looks like when you're communicating. Okay. So if you're communicating while you're fighting, you got to move your thumb up to the push to talk key. I want you to pretend taking a fight while you're pressing that button. Is your grip different than it was originally when you were aiming normally without pressing it?
Actually, no, because I have the new 502 mouse, so I
Okay.
changed that DPI button to actually be my push to talk, so it sits right where my thumb sits at all the time.
Interesting. I had to
So
see.
it
I had to
doesn't-
see your. Okay, so as long as the grip doesn't change, I'm fine with that. That's cool.
Yeah, grip doesn't change for it.
Okay, cool. That's fine then. Most times it is going to be all over the place. I'm not sure if you've seen this VOD or this TikTok yet, but I'll show you what the comms. I mean, you've seen it before. You played. You've heard it. You've heard like high-level radiant comms and whatnot. It's scrim footage will show you how important it is to do comms are quite seeing and how you're peaking. If you do this and master, you rank up. I'm watching across on the stairs.
Should maybe knife spawn where they delay the retake.
I can't.
Another one spawn, okay.
One more spawn.
All spawn, all spawn.
Two spawn.
Playing close.
One more.
2v1, 2v1.
She's there.
I'm knifing it.
For the contact.
I'm going lane.
He's still there? Yeah, we're doing okay, Bass. He's not in yet? 3, 2, 1, swinging. So like, I'm constantly calming when I'm in these fights, right? So it's no different here. When you're practicing, when you're playing ranked, no different. You should be able to calm when you're fighting.
Do an A split, but play it slow.
So find a button, and if that button is your mouse button and it works for you, you can still calm when you're taking fights. That's great.
A bit late on this one. Okay.
For my mouse, I have a Razor Death Adder, so I have to shift my thumb from being flat on the ground, pushing into my mouse, to me shifting up to that mouse button. So that changes my grip. So
I got hit.
I got hit too.
0 to Hero 80, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you, my friend. Welcome in.
Let's keep the split, but let's make no noise whatsoever. So the A raise was last.
Well, that was the worst dart I've ever seen. You guys just move up on that.
Careful, one of
Astro
them
usually sits garage.
Behind you guys. Fuck.
pushing up.
Oh man.
One flank.
8 seconds, 8 seconds, back up.
Okay. Don't wait for them. All of you group up. I know you're trying to wait for a heal. I get that. I get it. We're thinking too much utility here. Take your group. There's one person sitting here. Let's fight him. Because you need to be able to generate an offense here to make this a 3v3 and give yourself a chance to get back into this round. Okay? You could dart for your teammate, KJ, and then he can swing with it.
Sorry.
And that's an option.
Sure.
Let's watch this fight again.
80 on Astra.
Healing you.
Sorry.
I feel like your Anna's coming back into play here. Getting your ADS singing.
It does it a lot more than I care to admit. I started unbinding it in deathmatch to start getting used to actually ADSing.
Did you see what happens when you ADS to your character? I put a TikTok up just recently.
Yeah, your arm pops out more. They can see you before you can see them.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you a little more advanced look into this because I lied in this one.
When you
I did it purposely because I wanted to get views. But anyways, it is not a full lie, okay? So this does happen, but it's to varying degrees based on the weapon that you have. If you have a Phantom, you actually get shorter. You get smaller. Your hitbox actually tucks in a little bit more. So just for fun, like hop into a server and right-click with all the weapons and see how they react. The Vandal is the worst. It pulls the elbow out even further than most. The scope does move out a little bit, but it's not crazy. So the right click on the Vandal is the worst one. The Phantom is really good for you. And the scope is like in between both of them. I haven't tested the Guardian. I haven't tested the Bulldog, but they all have different positionings, which is really cool. So I might end up making a TikTok on that too. A lot of people don't think about that stuff.
I would have never thought about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the way that I approach these games now, because I used to do this a lot, is I'm trying to figure out how to break the game every way I possibly can. And there's always little things like that. You can like, oh, I can take this as an advantage, right? So if I'm holding a left wall with a Phantom, I'm gonna hold it with a scope in because I can pull in just a little bit more into that wall and potentially avoid a headshot. Pretty crazy stuff. All right, this round I said shooting error to graph, and I also talked about smokes are not your friend when you're up numbers. This is a rule and a protocol that I have in place for a lot of people. I get a lot of flack for this one because people are like, it doesn't make sense, you should always have smokes down. Like, okay, great, you can have smokes down, but they need to be flush to an entranceway. Okay, when you are up numbers, smokes are not your friends. The reason why for this is if they're down numbers, they're going to try to find ratty, ugly fights that are going to generate multi-frags, and they're going to use your smokes to their advantage. Okay? If you are against an eco, same rules apply. They're going to get ratty. They're going to play up close. They're going to do all that good stuff. If you are down numbers, smokes are your friends because you can use that to be able to create ratty fights for yourself and create multi-frag opportunities. If you are down numbers, if you're on eco in general, you can use the smokes to your advantage. Okay? So those are the 4 rules that you want to be thinking about. Let's watch this.
They smoke.
Nice.
Okay. There is a chance they could have full pushed A here. It would be in lobby now and probably pushing through lobby at this moment. With as much information that you have given towards C, that is what is a possibility here. Okay, so as soon as they go down numbers, they're going to start using smokes to their advantage, including that garage angle. So you need to be hyper alert of that. Perfect. So we are now in a losing situation. Here is how you react when you are the second person in. Complete calm. Okay? You need to be very calm because your KJ is baiting for you and trying to set you up for success. Okay? If she dies, it's your responsibility to get that trade. That means you take your time. Even if she's not the first person to die, her mindset should also be, take my time, hit my shot, slow down, relax. Because you're each relying on each other to hit that shot. One of you is likely to die, but the other person can get revenge. Okay? So she's relying on you to get value on that. So take a deep breath when you're second one in, and make sure you take your time and hit the shot. I'd rather you slowly put your crosshair on the the person and get shot in the head from a spray transfer than you just quickly flicking and missing altogether. Okay? That's like a mindset shift that you need to have once you're the second person in.
This SOVA.
Had to get it fucking Odin. All his skills have been with Odin.
Now the other piece I was going to make is, if you look at this fight, we're going to do it really slow. You have some shooting error problems. You have a movement error problem. Welcome from Overwatch all the way to Valorant. The worst thing that you can deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we can't do it very well here, but you actually miss your first shots due to movement error. Okay. You can't see it very well because the quality's low, but the first one went off here. Your crosshairs right here. It should be down there. Okay. So this was a transition movement error that you didn't fully get control over, and then you dropped right into a crouch. You drop into a crouch for two reasons. One of them's ego, which is not the situation here. The other one is fear. I can tell you're not in the right mindset for this trade because you're in fear here. You're like, you got caught off guard, dropped into the crouch right away. You should be thinking, I am baiting this person. I'm going to win the gunfight. That is the mindset you want to have. Okay? So the feedback I was going to give to you, to be able to help dissect this for yourself, if you ever want to do a VOD review of yourself, which you should do all the time, by the way, you can go into settings, go into your video settings, go into stats, and then turn on shooting error and set it to graph. And this will give you automatic feedback on if you were moving and shooting through any fights. And you don't look at it while you're taking the fight, you look at it afterwards during your VOD review. That way you've got that immediate feedback. It'll show up on the right hand side here. Super, super valuable.
You just need to play it slow. Find out where he's at first.
How do you find the hitboxes? Do you also find the hitboxes much smaller in Valorant compared to Blizzard? So the difference between aiming in Overwatch and aiming here is that a lot of the fights are going to be on the X-axis, whereas in Overwatch it's all axes. So it's legitimately harder. It's way harder to aim in Overwatch than it is in Valorant. Valorant's easy mode, right? If you can keep all your fights on the X-axis, which you can in this game, just by positioning properly, your shots are gonna be that much more accurate. It's that simple, right? So
Just trying to get over the mindset of I can move while shooting, because in Valorant or in Overwatch you can do that and not worry about it.
yeah, that's the one bonus that you have in Overwatch.
Watch out. For Sage, going C long. She's spamming. Very nice.
Let's watch this fight.
For Sage, going C long. She's spamming.
See anything wrong here?
Well, for one, my crosshair is way low, but two, I didn't pie the corners the way I should have in order to actually split it off. I went straight to the close angle instead of going across it.
Okay.
Like right here, I go right up against the wall and across instead of clearing the angle that could be right there behind the box.
So, yep, you're right. You didn't set yourself up for success early on. You started here and you started moving and then you flicked to the spot. Whereas you should be standing still, put it here, and now you're going to move out to the left. You want to limit the amount you're moving your mouse in this game, right? In Overwatch, you don't have that choice because you're going to be constantly moving. You're trying to shoot people all over the place, fucking junkrats jumping off the walls and shit like that. Like, it's all over the fucking place, right? But in this game, it's very easy. It's everyone's on the same ground floor unless they're doing some crazy satchel move or whatever. But it's very rare that ever happens. They're pretty much going to be on the ground. So you want to limit the processes in your brain for actions that you're delivering to your hands. You place first, then you eliminate the need to move your crosshair. Now it's all through the keyboard. It's very cut and dry, very easy. Okay, so watch how you do this again. You're moving your mouse and you're moving together. That changes the actions. It makes it a little bit harder for you to balance out where that crosshair needs to be. So you'll see Tens do this a lot. Before he peaks an angle, his crosshair's in the spot, and then he shifts out. Right? He takes a second before he peaks, We call that priming the peak, right? Or a pivot peak, and then he goes out into it. So he's mindful of where all his crosshair is. You have good aim. You're able to recover that, no problem. But aim is also a crutch for poor crosshair placement and bad positioning. So you can out-aim yourself out of a lot of bad situations. But we want to make that as easy as we possibly can. Okay? And one thing that you should be good at with playing a lot of Ana is understanding how to position yourself behind natural cover. Because you need to be able to defend yourself, and you don't have a lot of movement as Ana. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about. Let's watch this one really quick. Let's break this down.
Me. Astra, watch your back.
Cool. You cleared this one, and then you kept moving. So instead of doing it like that, you clear this angle first, fade back into the wall. Clear this angle, fade back into the wall. And then you go out a little bit wider and swing that angle. Okay?
Okay.
So you cleared one, and then you kept moving forward.
Raise is here. Raise is here.
And all the while, you're trying to adjust your crosshair while you're moving. That's two processes that your brain is putting into your hands, which makes you inefficient.
Astra, watch your back.
I'm not kidding when I'm saying, like, this game, compared to Overwatch, is like playing freaking Minecraft, right? It's like very cut and dry. It's very simple, right? You're building shit. So don't overcomplicate the movement. So you're moving and shooting when you're shooting because you have all these things going on in your head. Just make it simple. Peek out with the crosshair placed on the right spot where you want to be. Make sense?
Yeah.
Why am I not shooting her properly? Oh my god, I fucked up. Just slow. Yeah, at that point.
You know, it's the hardest thing for me to transition to Overwatch because I had to like relearn how to like aim with the Y-axis too. I kept everything on the X-axis, tried to keep it as simple as I possibly could. When I played like McCree or something like that, and I kept everyone level, I was like, oh yeah, I'm just nailing everybody. But as soon as I started changing elevations, like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was
Let's change the tempo.
probably my biggest issue is trying to get over like I still in big fights, if I just stop thinking, I have the mindset I can move and shoot and do the same thing at the same time.
Hmm.
Lamey, lame.
Okay, round 10. Don't have a note. Let's take a look. You've had your ult for a while now. I don't remember if you use it at all. I think you use it once this whole game.
I think so. SOVA ult's the one I'm always the weirdest about. 'Cause I don't really know what I'm... Like, I tried saving for post-plant situation or something like that.
Yeah, you can use it for that. Whenever someone questions what they should be doing with their ult, I give them homework, and that homework is give me 20 ways you can use your ult, and you gotta send it to me before you do another VOD review. It's just that simple. You gotta do that, right? So I've done that with people with Omen, for example. Let's do a couple right here. Chat, help them out. How do you use your SOVA ult? What ways can we do it? You've already named one, which is for post plant, so we'll say post plant for one. What else have we got, guys? Yeah, playing Overwatch made Val seem so much slower. Oh my god, that's the one thing I love about Overwatch is it's so much faster. It's like, oh god, this is great. I can do things constantly. Get a tag with drone then ult. Beautiful. You have the combination drone and ult is like super powerful. It's comparable. It's been nerfed recently, but it's comparable to a Raze ult. When a Raze pops ult, what do you do naturally?
Run.
You run away?
Typically, you're gonna run or you're gonna get behind cover where you can't be shot. One to two.
You're gonna hide. You're gonna run and hide. Yeah, those are the two. Exactly. When you have your ult and you pop drone, you want it to be as threatening or comparably threatening as a Raze popping ult. As soon as someone hears that drone and they know that you have ult, they're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, I gotta hide. Because if you tag them, it's automatically, or should be pretty close to getting a full kill on that person. Right? Because as soon as you tag them, and if you hit them with that ult right away, it reveals them again. Every time you hit them with an ult, it reveals them. So what you can do, which is something that I don't do very often when I'm playing SOVA, which is very rare, is if some people are pushing up into sight, what I'll do is I'll take a complete path away from them. So the logs angle, for example, I'll just blast logs a few times. That's a way of of keeping people away from that angle so that when my team is running in, they only have to worry about straight in front of them, right?
So use it as a zoning ult, basically.
Yeah, using the zoning. You've done that before with which alts in Overwatch?
I mean, almost every alt really and truly can do a zoning alt with it, unless it's like the support alts, but they can all do it.
Hanzo reminds me of that. Like you can zone people out of certain spots.
Specifically.
Yeah, McCree can to a degree, right? People have to now pay attention to him, right? Whenever you pop ult.
Soldier 76.
Yeah, exactly.
That one.
You got it. Yeah, man, you're making me want to play Overwatch right now. Fuck, I can't wait to quit my job so I can have more time to play games. But yeah, so think of it like that. Like, how can I use my ult to path people into the bomb site? That's another great way. Zoning it. Okay. Post plant, preventing plant. Who can you pair your ult with? What characters?
I mean, on this one, the comp we have a Sage Slow or an hardstuck can go.
Ooh, yes. Oh, I love that. So we got Astra.
I love playing Fade when I have a breach because I'll just combo ult with him to quiet them and stun them at the same time.
So yeah, so you said Astra. You technically can combo with a Phoenix. It's possible because you can reveal where they're going to be, and then Phoenix runs down with his ults, and it's like whatever.
Oh,
That's obviously that's like not even a question at that point. Who else could you combo with?
You can combo with the Sky.
You got it.
Dog or her ult as well too.
Her ult is huge for a combo.
Well.
Yeah. You just follow the trackers and you ult where the trackers are blowing up on the mini map. No problem. Easy win, right? Who else? Anyone else?
I mean, you could do it with Neon as well too, because you can run up on them and follow your ult in.
Yep.
If you're zoning in.
Easy zone. Overdrive, perfect, right? One of my favorite combos, Fade and Neon. You hit Fade ult on everyone on site. What's her HP? Pretty damn low. How many hits does it take with the overdrive? 1 to 2, depending on when you hit them and how you peek it. Can everyone on site hear that Neon has popped her ult after you've hit the ults on them? No, they can't. So they have no idea where she's coming from. It's like huge. Another good combo, Omen, Fade. Right? You ult in, and you ult in here. They don't know if it's an Omen ult because the mini-map looks the exact same when you hit them. They can't hear his ult when you hit them as well. So they have no idea where he's teleporting to at all. That's another great combination. There's so many that you can do, right? So the key is you need to look at the beginning of the round, who can I work with? Who can I enable? And who enables me to do things like that? So with those things, I want you to give me 20 ways you can use your ult, and that way you'll be able to use it a lot more fluidly. And you can do that with every character if you want.
Okay.
You know what's another good combination? Fade and Jet. That's like one knife to the chest if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Fade's my best initiator. I actually have, I think, 13 hours on her currently right now in ranked alone.
Fade is OP. People just don't know.
I play the crap out of her, and it's like I love it when I have a Phoenix. I'm like, Phoenix, let me know before you ult, and I will ult them up, and it's just easy kills for you.
Yeah.
Who still has enough to buy an Odin?
How about working with arrays? Tether nade combinations.
Oh, that's actually how I won my first Lotus comp game last night.
There you go.
Just tether nade A, and get at least 1 or 2 each round before they got smart about it. And then we delayed it and did it again.
Nervous, you don't like playing KO? I like KO. Yeah, KO's fun. KO's a Counter-Strike character, basically. I think you could bounce it here, and then it lands back sight, so you don't have to reveal yourself. Just like as a safety.
I've been wondering about that because, like, I was like, there's got to be a better way to hit that view.
Yeah, whenever you find yourself exposing yourself to an angle, that's where you're like, okay, I have some homework here. I got to do this and this. All right. Oh my God! Do not go B. Do not go B. Okay, when you're gun round versus gun round, bad idea. Okay. Especially this situation, The smokes could have been placed in a worse spot. Look at the situation. 5v4. How are they going to play?
Aggressive and ratty.
Aggressive and ratty. Because they want to even out the numbers. They're going to sit in those smokes. You're giving them an opportunity to move into the site. You end up winning this round, but that does not mean that it was a good play or good strat. You stay the hell away from the site. Okay? Because this site here is used for rotation. And it's used as a last resort bomb site to plant in. You only plant in this one at the beginning of the round if you are on eco. That is my rule. Because you want these ugly fights. Here's the problem. You smoke off here. You smoke off here. How many entryways into the bomb site do we have control over?
At that point, you've only got main if you're sitting inside main, because they can walk into the smokes right there and just sit in and wait for it.
Do you know how hard it is to control main on a post plant?
Extremely difficult.
Yeah, 1 pathway, 2 pathways. Like grass is going to be challenged. You have window being challenged. So it's incredibly difficult. And they can push through garage too and get you there. So this is like main control is like, okay, we got main control, but for how long? You know what I mean? So if you're going to take B, if you have to take B, you need to take one of the extremities of the B site. That means A connector control or C connector control. The way you get C connector control is you throw a smoke on garage this way and you challenge into the window and take control of that pathway. Okay. The other way you do it on A site, I'll show it to you in the illustration here, is that you take your smokes, you place them like right here, and you move in and you control A connector and fight for it. Either one of those, you get control of garage, you get control of A connector. Because this one here is incredibly difficult to control. So having this one as your only way into the bomb site that you control is going to make it incredibly difficult for you to hold on the post plant. So for the love of God, guys, please, please stop strategizing towards B. You are literally coin flipping. When you have so much advantage as an attacking team on Haven, take your advantage, roll with it. It should be a last resort place to plant.
Outside clear, smoke clear.
Did you notice anything that just happened there?
They made the aggressive play through the smoke and killed our planter.
It's almost like I can write this shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, and here's the other thing. You said you have main control, right? Is it possible they can flank you on window right now? We have no idea and you're screwed? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think we end up winning this round. But I hope you lose it.
I think we barely won the round.
Garage? Is it possible they could be window flanking you right now too?
See through the smoke for you.
See how bad this is turning out?
Walk up, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, see how bad? They can see your gun. They can see your gun. Okay, never mind, they're bad. See how this turned from a 5v4 to a 2v3 really, really quickly? B is not a legitimate bomb site to hit. Okay, here's another use for B. I've done this before. You take your smokes, place them like this, place them like this. You avoid B altogether, and you run right through into A and flank them. That's another way of using B.
Okay.
Don't use it as an actual bomb site. Okay? It is a last resort. Last resort. Let's see what happens the rest of this. If you win this, it's on the... Yeah, see? Window. No control over main. See? It's like I wrote the whole story on this book. Yeah, I'm so glad we lost. I'm so glad we got punished here, guys. This is exciting. So exciting. I'm gonna just do this for TikTok because I'm gonna probably edit this one. Do not go B on a gun round, please. For the love of God, don't do it. There we go. That's all I needed.
Just going.
Maybe they're just better on defense. True.
I feel like using B to go to another site is so much more obvious, intuitive on Lotus. Yeah, well, Lotus is a different map altogether.
I'm gonna arrow over this.
They were.
And I've only played Lotus twice, so I can't give you feedback on how that bomb site works, but it's probably very similar.
It was 12-6, and they lost.
Concealment, obscuring vision.
Are you playing 10 mans tonight, Worthy? I'm behind on TikToks, guys. So I was planning on doing it tonight and playing tonight, but like I was spending the weekend with my girlfriend because it was our anniversary. So I'm behind on things. But I can play tomorrow night. I'm gonna play tomorrow night, but we are gonna do 10 mans tonight regardless. We used your ult. All right. Winner.
I actually droned and used it on him as well.
That's good.
They're flanking.
He planted, but it's not for you guys.
Yeah.
Could have crossed the sewers is the comment you need to make. Cross the sewers.
Come to you, Coffee. They just
There you
come
go.
to
Yeah. I got her. She's trying to res.
Hide. Stuck in the corner.
100%.
Enemy remaining.
Hey, Astra, no.
He's
Help.
backside.
Okay. Don't crouch in that situation. You didn't have to. You still have the ability to move when you're not crouching. As soon as you crouch, you're all in. What was it that we were looking at here? What's our crosshair placement doing here?
I got her. She's trying to res.
Because she didn't even pop
I
ult
think I
yet
was
and you were
looking
looking
for
up.
the satchel up at that point because I heard the start of it. I think I assumed she had a satchel.
It happened after.
I got her. She's trying to res.
See?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what I was looking at.
Okay. Maybe just admiring the decor.
I die here. 100%.
Enemy remaining.
Nervous. I have an editor for my no, not my TikToks. I have an editor for my YouTube, not my TikToks. I can't afford both of them.
Nice. Good job.
I'm not at that state yet. Sooner or later, I'll be able to just play and make content and just let everyone else do it for me. Who knows?
A lot of people are going, hey, I'll go see.
Blame me.
No. Play garage and B. Coffee.
Yeah.
I will.
When I-
That's my default.
I'm gonna immediately dart. See.
Yeah. No, usually holding C, I default to garage.
Okay, so we're on defense. I want you to watch your Astra play this round on the minimap.
Okay.
It's really good. Why should we not crouch? When you crouch, you give up any opportunity for you to move away and escape from a fight. You are fully committed to that fight. So you only do the crouch when you've hit the person twice with the Vandal in the chest or 3 times with the Phantom in the chest. That's the only time you commit. Okay? Now, the other times when it's acceptable to crouch is when a person knows where you are and you know where they are. So if you think about it, the path to victory is through the eyes of the opponent. If they're looking towards me and they know that I'm there, where's their crosshair placement going to be? Head level. So if I lead in with a crouch, I throw off that natural crosshair placement, and then I can pull into a fight at that point. So peeking with a crouch is acceptable. You can also stand up after you peek with that initial crouch to throw them off even more if you wanted to. I've done that kind of stuff. So you're actually moving off into a side, kind of like an N shape, if you will. So we're going to watch how the Astra plays here.
Okay.
On my way.
I think Astra's probably the highest rank in here, this closet, based on what I've seen here.
I'm gonna be angry and kind of B and C.
I'm gonna play Heaven.
Falls back, plays a timer.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm on the way.
Okay, realizes that they're all there, so he decides to hold the space. This is the reason why you end up winning this round.
On the way, on the way.
Smoked off. I can't help you on site.
Falls back again.
One enemy
Beautiful.
remaining.
Hell.
Oh my.
Okay, so sometimes a good offense is a great defense, holding that space, calling out that they're all coming towards long, and then he just plays off that. And he has now, if you're thinking about it, we're retaking from this angle, and heaven. So it's easier for us to be able to retake the site. If he were to die here, then all the enemies are in front of us, and we're going to funnel through this short air, this CT area, because heaven is not a legitimate way to retake the site, because you have to jump out of it.
I saw that, Astro.
I just saw Sage running towards me.
All right, Kaneko, enjoy dinner. I'm gonna go have some dinner soon as well. I got one more VOD after this, and then good to go.
Yeah.
After I set up 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
I hit her for
Copy.
96, so I
Go
tried.
8. Go 8.
Sentry.
Okay, so I don't mind her being here.
Okay.
Here's the reason why. What happened in the last round?
They all died A.
Yeah, they didn't even get a chance to run and plant the bomb at all. So it is likely, especially at this rank, they're gonna be like, well, that didn't work, let's go to C, right? And they're gonna do some split shit towards garage and towards long. Most likely going to happen. That's my thought. That's my theory. So what you can do, if you have people that you don't want there, instead, toss your dart deep on long, and if there's nobody there, you can have them walk up and take space on that while you're protecting them with your marshal, right?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I don't have time for
So
setup,
basically have
though.
them like either walk up all the way C long or into cubby at least.
Yeah, and if you reveal a bunch or they break your dart, then you're like, well, it's good that I have my KJ here, because now we're going to have 2 people on site ready to stop them, right?
Okay.
Now, if you do this and rotate her back, she's late, which he even identified. So for her putting up her utility, it's going to be counterproductive for what Reyna's trying to do. Reyna's being completely aggressive on sewers. So now we have a completely passive player on A. So they're counterproductive to each other. And that's where that issue comes into play over there too. Which I think Reyna ends up getting picked here. Now, if she was there early, which it doesn't happen. I thought she was going to get picked. It was another situation, I think. Oh, wait. There it is. If she was there early, she might have been playing with Astra as opposed to this, right?
Okay. Split.
So it's too late in the round for that to happen. It needed to be called much earlier when we were all celebrating that round victory. So now you're kind of in a rock and a hard place at this point. So I would say that drone is probably your best bet. So tuck against the wall, drone, figure out where the enemy's coming from, because you're worried about long as well. So if you clear out long at the very least with your drone, then you know they're coming towards garage. You can jump on the metal and try to fight something at this point.
I hear Astra is short. Yeah.
Garage.
Great kill.
Spike down.
On the way, on the
Awesome kill. Like, the fact that you got this much value out of this round is like huge compared, considering where you're standing and whatnot.
Astra's flanking us. It's gonna be coming from.
I hear. That was good placement of your bot.
Alright, sounds good, Koniko. She ends up winning this again, doesn't she?
Plant.
Yeah, I think she played
Yeah.
Ring Around the Room to win it. She
That's
does
2
that-
rounds she's done that.
Yeah, she does it a lot.
Can they not just shoot that? Like, what?
They can. That's a very easy dart to shoot, but it usually scans 1 before it happens. So I can at least get 1 info.
Try and flank.
Love that dart so much.
Why
I
they
love
didn't
that
shoot
flank.
it, I don't know.
Alright.
Yeah. Higher levels are they're gonna hear it and they're just gonna turn around and shoot it right away.
A little bit towards B. You're good.
Breaking my wall. Dash it.
Here. On the way.
Okay, so this was a bit of a risky buy. Why did you buy this, Vandal, on this round?
I think it's because I died last round.
Mm-hmm.
I knew there'd be full weapons, full buy, so I bought to help counter it. I think that's exactly why I did it. I died last round with the Marshall.
The problem is that if we look at our money, the following round, if you, what happens is if you decide to buy, you're committing to the result of it being a victory. That's the big key. So everyone else has to rebuy on this round because we only have 1 person who lived. So let's see what the money situation is. See what people buy. We have 1. Astra's buying a Phantom. I know why, because she's probably smurfing in your rank and she wants to just like carry you guys. You buy and now Reina buys. So we have 3 people that if we do not win this round, we're in big trouble financially. So we have to win this round. And if we look at it, the situation is they're going to have how many full buys?
Guaranteed 4, potentially 5, depending on what util raise buys.
It'll be probably 5. And the reason why she won't be focused on util is because she knows that there's going to be this week buy. There's going to be this week buy. Right? So if we have 5 full buys versus 3 full buys maximum, you're going to have a massive advantage. On top of that, you have the advantage of being an attacker on Haven. So this is probably going to be a full buy or a half buy. So worst case scenario for them, 4.5. Okay, so maybe she gets light armor and then utility. Okay, so if you're going to buy into this, you're walking into a disadvantage of the map. You're also walking into a disadvantage of the numbers. So in this situation, I think it would be better if you guys saved and went into the next round with full money and try to do as much damage to them as you can financially. If you can kill like 2 or 3 of them with an eco. So again?
Should we have full saved or done a half buy in this one?
Full saved. Well, I mean, like your half buy could be like a shotgun if you wanted to, if someone can afford it, right? Maybe you can afford it, maybe they can afford it. And then you just play a stack towards the site and retake the other site, or you play aggressive on certain areas to try to generate some kills. If you can get 3 kills here, that's huge.
Okay.
But the problem is now you have to win. And if you don't win, well, then you're going to eco. And right now you kind of have a half buy. So you're going to have another half buy situation or a full eco. So you give up 2 rounds because of it.
Starting out. Close. Close.
108 jet 51
Going up heaven.
I have dart 8. I have dart 8. Just wait
I think
for
this is
dart.
the round where you have a different mindset shift here. It's an interesting one. Okay, first one. Don't expose yourself to these angles. Bounce it off here.
I get a dart for going over or bounce, 1 to 2.
Yeah, bounce it. Bounce it or shoot it over. Either one. So you see her there? So pre-fire the angle. I think this is spammable on this side. I could be wrong. Chat, can you confirm for me on that one? I'm not sure, 100%. I think you can spam that.
Okay.
You re-peeked it, which was great. But don't stand in the middle of it because it's going to be pre-fired. So in this moment here, you have a second where you just stand here in the middle. You think so, Kenzen? Okay. Thank you, Kenzen.
The raise is tag 50.
So you stand right there for a second. There we go. Here it comes. You stand here. Just re-peek in and out. Re-peek in and out from that angle. And pre-fire it.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be another moment where you could have pre-fired it. It's later on in the VOD, if I remember correctly. This round. Yeah, this is where I talk about you need to fight and calm at the same time. You need to practice actively calming when you're fighting, what you're swinging. So what I recommend people do whenever I see this issue is they go into deathmatch, and I want you to calm every single swing that you make. So you're pressing your push to talk key for most cases, and you're swinging and taking fights in deathmatch. So you're actively practicing action comms. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so just go into a death match, and then you can literally warm up like this. You're just like, I'm going to warm up my comms. I warm up my comms. I'm going to go into the game, and I'm going to be like, I'm swinging long. 3, 2, 1, swing, and then you fight the guy if he's that long. I'm swinging this. I'm swinging that. I'm taking this fight. There's one over on this side. There's one over here. Like you can practice warming up your comms that way. I used to do it with a bunch of Radiant teams.
Running up A long. Giving up sight, playing retake.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
So you're giving up and retaking, and then you have your Astra playing here. What's an alternative?
Go towards the Astra, fight with her.
You can't really do that with a marksman.
Or just stay aggressive
Running up
on
A long.
A and take that fight, or sit back sight.
I don't like you saying aggressive. I like the second move, being backside, because there's only one place they can be right now until Astra dies, and it's right in front of you. So you have a long range fight right here that you can easily take.
Giving up side lane retake.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Alright.
Astra's playing this so well.
Planning.
She's just going to control this angle, which is great.
Spike planted.
Now you have all these lanes into the bomb site controlled. That's what makes this... Like, Astra is literally carrying your retake every single round that you're doing a retake on it.
Get main.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, 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 nice.
Yeah, so Devil Dog says, Heaven is such a bad place to fight from, especially with the comp he is against.
Which side?
Oh.
The reason why it's working is because Astra's positioning is so good. And her ability to fight the sewers has been good.
I'll take it over the glitch pop.
Don't give them time to reposition.
I want to see you actively on retakes. If you're going to have to retake, take mid control after they've taken A site or they're trying to take A site. So they're pushing up on long, you hear like 3 or 4 of them. Have some people push through mid and start flanking them. That's the best way to retake the site, is through the behind, long and short.
Okay.
Now if you clearly hear 5 people running up long, just like tell people to push through mid.
That didn't work. But you know what?
Push through mid and flank. 1, maybe 2
Extra A.
at A. So you're giving up space really quickly. You don't have to do this. Smokes are coming up.
2 Astra Stars A, 1 for Graffiti, 1 for Heaven.
You have Astra and Sage at A. There's Raze. 3 towards A. Now, watch this retake. So now we're not having position of having this spot right here. In my opinion, yeah, in my opinion, you've already lost this round because it's a 4v5 and everyone has to funnel in through here. So in order for this to work, Astra needs to place smokes like here and here so that you guys can get out and play in the smoke and explode through it. That's the only way. And you're kind of taken out of the play at this point. So what you can do is if you have shock dark lineups, you can hit this spot, but that's about it. And you're kind of hoping that you kill someone with your shock darks. That's the only option you have in this position.
Spike planted.
Planter down. First call you make.
One long, one long.
I'm gonna die.
Big hat.
Shit.
Oh,
The nade got me.
where's his health?
You had an opportunity there where you could have jumped down to ammo box while that smoke was up. That was your only shot. Now you're crossfired, so you can't even play in here.
Raze might come for
You had to go for it at that point. That was the only option. Okay, so you get to this point here, and from now on, what I want you to do mindfully is if you're going to peek this, don't peek it slow. Move up slightly so you're not affected by the object behind you, the wall. And I want you to swing with gusto and pre-fire that angle because there's always someone there, especially at this rank. So if you just pre-fire that shot, you might end up lucking out and getting one. See that angle? That angle. Just pre-fire it. You can go into a server and practice that pre-fire.
A every time. Okay.
It's like an automatic
Whichever
pre-fire angle.
side Astra Stars first.
The thing that bothers the shit out of me is how bad people are with their alts in this rank. Like, I'm looking at the opposing team, and like, nobody's using their alts. Like, come on. So many easy alts. Like, the Raze can literally just ult, and you guys just run away from site, and they're forced post plan.
You want to find it.
Found them.
Okay.
They cross the short.
No! 101 on Astra.
If you're going to stick there and commit to that, you need to hold a shallower angle at that point. You've already lost the space. So as soon as you take a fight here, it's like a general rule of thumb. How's it going, Orange Peel? How you doing?
I'm going through it, man.
So I mean, when we push A, when we take site, I get so much shock kills on people in heaven post plant. Yeah, that's really the only thing you've got.
Okay.
Okay, so you missed that first shot. As soon as you missed that first shot, here's the exact pathing she took. Creates 2 angles. So she crosses, gets closer, and then swings out. Okay, so now you have to worry about the Sage swinging you, and the Astra swinging you. So in order to make both of those angles one angle, so you can avoid it, your positioning now has to be here, watching this spot. Okay, instead of looking straight down here. As soon as you miss that first shot, you've lost your ability to hold that position now. So you need to back up a little bit more. So make it more shallow. So you're like here, so you're watching this pathway in here. That way if they cross it, you know where that they're going to be, and you can still run away if you miss a shot. Okay, so you have to go shallow on that one. So let me show you again, really quick. You missed a shot. So now you take this wall here and you place it along here. So that they're coming in and they wide swing you, you got them here. It's very unlikely this Astra's going to just like hug this wall and walk right up onto you. Doesn't happen, especially at your rank. Okay, so you can just back up a little bit more so you have an escape route, and then you can move back to the right more. But if you re-peek this angle, you're now exposing yourself to 2 threat angles because she's crossed over. Saw what about you? I just got off work, had to come catch the goat himself. Nah, you're the goat, bro. Glad I could be there. Sometimes I ruin the enemy's eco by ulting, but in this elo, they would still blame me for ulting while saving. There's a difference in this situation, though, Jasmine. With this one, it's like you're holding onto ults and not using them to path onto site. Like if you make a comm at the beginning of the round as Raze say, hey, follow me into A, I'm going to ult, and they're going to run away from me. It's a free bomb site take. Bait me in. Then people should be following you in. Right?
What did you say?
We refocus. We got.
If you make a plan and you tell people what you're gonna do, then it's totally fine. They call you out on it, and you just mute them at that point because you've already told them what you're gonna do. They should have played around you. And next bothering me. This been helpful so far? Asa?
Yeah, 100%. I've actually got. I keep typing notes over here on my other screen, so.
Oh, sweet. You'll have my notes too.
I have ult stop plan if we need it.
Raise spot main.
Okay, so rotations on Haven. We have a little bit of a faux pas. Little problem here. Okay. What position are you on? Do you know what this is called?
I don't remember the exact name, but in this one, Astra should go over and I should go more towards B or garage 1 and 2.
Correct. Everyone should move over to the right if they're going to be going towards A. Right? In this situation. Everyone should move to the left in our situation. Okay, so...
I've always jokingly called it the Cupid Shuffle because you either go to the right or to the left. 1 to 2.
I call it 3 in the bed, little one said rollover. The rollover, the whole rollover strategy. Alright? So, in an ideal world, everyone shifts over. You're not playing in an ideal world, you're playing in gold. So, people don't know how to do that kind of stuff. That being said, you can still rotate and fill in spots that you need to be covered. Okay. If we do a positioning inventory at the start of the round, do we have mid control? Do we have anyone on B?
No, we got nothing B.
Okay. So watch B. Watch how open it is.
I have ult stop plan if we need it.
Okay, here's your mistake. Where should you rotate to if you're going to be going towards helping A?
Towards B to check the B link that way.
Correct. You go across and you keep your crosshair placement here looking out with your gun. That way when you're crossing it, you're like clearing out any potential timings and threats that people could have for flanking you on B to A. You wrapping around, look how long this has been open. It's been open now for 15 seconds. And I'm just thinking, oh my god, what if someone is just like walking through here? Just having a nice little stroll to the countryside, flanking our KJ. This was a big over-rotate. You actually went from one anchor position to the other anchor position. Now you're the furthest one right. So you're the anchor on A site. And you started out anchor on C site. And when you rotate like this, this causes a lot of problems and kerfuffles and timing issues. Look at this dart here. Now all I'm thinking of is, oh my god, someone's definitely going to move up here. Someone's definitely flanking.
Concussed.
Spike planted.
74 raise.
They plant
Let's see.
different
Let's see if...
Planted B.
Look at that. They planted B.
Fuck. They did.
And I feel like if you were...
D open here.
Yeah, you left B open. I feel if you crossed over, you might have at least seen some action here, and this whole round would look a whole lot different. That being said, you're on eco and shit's all over the place, so whatever. It is what it is. You got a kill here, that's a huge value. But it's something to keep mental note of, is how you're rotating on this map, and how that rollover strategy runs.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
I can walk grass.
Mid like this.
Yeah, I got you, girl.
Big kill.
Back over, back over.
You can rotate out now. No need for you being here. Good. They're hitting C hard. Get ready. So here's where you can start zoning.
Okay.
If you go to the front of B, like this, and you just alt down this way as they're coming in. That's another way of working with this. Okay, I think there's going to be another opportunity, another round. We could do that. Might have been this round.
Good shot.
No. Iron 2.
I love how that's what it is. It's like, oh, I'm iron 2, I can't win.
120.
There they are.
Okay. We talked about this situation before. You're with your teammate, play with your teammate, swing together, use your attrition. Okay? You know where he is? As soon as you spread out, you're creating two 1v1s.
Damn it, right.
See, you might have commented you're doing that, but Reyna closed her ears and closed her mind and thought that you were with her. So in her perspective, you're the villain. Because I'm going to swing out and he's going to bait me. But you didn't say anything in time. By the time you were already in garage, she was speaking out. It was already too late.
Dude.
Okay.
He's 2 HP.
Safe play is always going to be go with your teammate. But if you're not going with your teammate, you need to communicate it right away. You're alone. You're alone. Just say you're alone.
Okay.
That's all you need to do. When you did that, you revealed yourself. Also, when you came off here, you made noise. Let's do it again.
At the same time, damn it, right.
Dude.
Yeah, because I didn't hit the second step, so I just went straight down.
Yeah, you gotta take your time there if you're gonna do this.
He's 2 HP.
Spike planted.
Now she knows you're here for sure. Or she should. She's a higher level player, she'll know for sure. What did I just see there? I saw something too. Am I losing my mind? No, it is her. It is her. What the fuck? So she planted and wrapped right away. That's crazy.
I
Wow.
think that's why. Yeah, because I saw her in the mini map is why I started looking
Not
that way.
ready yet.
I'm like, okay, she wraps CT here. Easy.
You know where he is?
I'm gonna stick it. That was crazy. That was like a brief second. I can't believe she didn't like fight.
Nice crush.
Yeah, my duo always tries to figure out how I see small things like that. She's like, how do you see those out of the like split second? I'm like, it's the mini map. I'm actively looking at the mini map constantly.
That and you played Overwatch. Like you played at a high level. Like you've trained your eyes to look at these kinds of things. There's moments where I was like coaching some Radiants and I'm like, hey, you know you saw him CT, right? And they're like, no, I didn't. We went back and we slowed it down to frames and you could see a shoulder. Like he just like, there he is. I'm like, whoa. But you've probably done years of like high level competition that you're able to pick up all of this stuff. Look at Astra. Look at Astra. Look at that. This is huge. Look at this. Watch this. Trigger discipline. Oh, it's fucked it up. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Stay B.
Look at that.
Okay, safe, come across.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at Astra. Oh, I love it. Oh my god.
Let me throw my sword.
He's playing at like a diamond level, I think.
The Astra was
Hit her
absolutely
low,
insane.
or is it
this
really
game.
close?
Yeah.
It hit her.
Okay.
If you're not a good
I was like, I don't even know if that is around the area. If I'm blind.
Love his loops.
Hit her, but, like,
Which
she's already
loops?
dead, so you kinda, like,
Kimza?
All-
What do you mean by
all the
that?
loops we've been doing in this
Overkill's
game
highly
between
underrated these days, okay?
my duo and me just going around in a circle on C every time.
Oh, okay. All right, so this is the last couple of rounds here.
Yeah. I heard Astra.
Standing ahead.
They're doing it for C.
So
Right.
they're going towards C.
I have.
Remember the zoning alt situation? This is walled off. Run to the front of B and use that when they're starting to come in.
Okay.
You say peek with my ult, peek with my ult. And if they look at them on the minimap, you can hit them through the minimap as well.
Actually hear 'em up there.
Yeah, no, they're pushing.
Hey, Astra and I got ours.
You end up using it, thank God.
Nice.
There we go.
Down C.
Works pretty well when you have to
He's in the
play
corner.
time in a 1v1. Like when the enemy is hunting you around a box. Yeah, the loops.
Another
Okay, that's what I'm
one
talking
where
about.
I hit him with the shit. Too late.
A lot of rounds that they're where their plays. Yeah,
Kill, you know?
Point.
Astra's been popping off for
Switch
sure.
pop. I got a crispy headshot.
Astra's been
on.
watching my content.
Crispy. Straight.
Oh, I hit our Reno with our.
Oh no.
Sorry for hitting you. With
And this is pretty much it. There's no real comment I have on this round. So, what were your top takeaways from today, Asa?
I mean, really and truly, I gotta get more used to the SOVA playstyle of how to do things with them, because I swear if I showed you a Fade VOD or KO one, it'd be completely different,
Mhm.
and it wouldn't be as, I wouldn't say as passive, but it'd be a lot more knowing what to do and when to pop alt and util in certain situations.
Mhm.
So this one is, I need to get more used to how SOVA works here in certain situations like that.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think that was definitely one of the major factors was like figuring out what your job was in SOVA and like how do you get the darts and whatnot. So yeah, I think if you showed me another tune, we'd probably be okay with that. I agree with that. Any other takeaways before we move to wrap? I'll answer the questions in chat in a
honestly,
second.
there's a lot I'm doing that's still like Overwatch mindsets. So obviously, I need more time to look at and see like, okay, get this out the way, so I
Mhm.
don't actually do it. Because like looking back at it, like I can watch it myself and see like what I'm doing wrong, but I look at it again. It's like one thing I didn't notice I was doing so much was jumping all the time, which is something you do in Overwatch constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. You've built up muscle memory, and that's going to take time. Like, when I was transitioning from Valorant to Overwatch, I was playing it like Valorant, right? And it was great for whenever I was like McCree and it was like trying to get, strafe kills and whatnot. It's cool. But then when I started changing characters and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, all my protocols are incorrect in this game. So it will take some time to get the protocols down in the proper way of doing things. But it's more so just like calling yourself out on it, being honest, and being like, being very patient with yourself. It's a very easy game in comparison. I'll say that for sure. So it's just a matter of you need to get punished by it a few more times before it starts sinking in. That's the best way that human beings learn, is through pain. So it's just one of those things that you just keep identifying it, and then eventually it's going to click, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna stop doing this. Same thing happened to me. Like when I was getting coached in Overwatch, my coach was like, why are you doing this? I'm like, oh, because in Valorant it's good. It's like, well, this isn't Valorant. Right? So
Yeah, that's always been a big issue. It's like trying to go between games. Like it took me a bit for even when I went to Apex to get all the Apex stuff different.
yeah, it's a transition. It's a tough transition for sure. Worthy, what would you consider high rank in this game? Immortal 3. Mortal 3 and above. Anything else is low rank. Sorry, nervousness. It's just what it is. Like, until you've fully understood, like, played in a Radiant lobby, or played, not even Radiant lobby, honestly, but until you've played in a Radiant team, or played in a competitive Immortal 3 team, Radiant team, you don't understand what this game is about. You haven't even played it yet. It's that crazy. Like, it's like that different. The flow is completely different. It's kind of like, can you speak to, for everyone else in chat, because you have an experience of this. You played tier 2 in Overwatch. Compare ranked Overwatch to team play in Overwatch.
Ranked Overwatch is chaos.
Yes.
Pure absolute chaos. Somebody watching team play will assume it's chaos, but it's completely organized to look like. I mean, it looks like chaos when doing it, but there's a very big structure, a game plan behind it. You're doing certain things to draw out. Hey, I'm going to draw default out here so we can hit this one, or hey, I'm going to transcend in as a Zen in order to bait out the Rhine for this, or you're sitting farther back just to hit something. It's nothing but a mind game at the tier 2 level versus ranked. You can just shut your brain off and go play.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all over the place. It's hard to, it's very similar to this. It's like very, very random. And there's going to be games that you just cannot win. But in a team play environment, it's like chess. It's a beautiful game. Like, things are lined up properly. You know that the ults are coming in here and there, right? You know where your map control is going to be. You're actually being baited properly and working together as a team to achieve an objective. Whereas, like, in ranked, it's like 5 people just like headless chickens running around. And if you hit more shots than the other team, you end up winning. So it's like, I don't blame people for wanting to like have stats be like the number one thing they're so important on, because like for you to rank up in most of these situations, it's like, how many frags did I hit? Right? So I don't blame people for that mindset, but at the same token, it's like, you have no idea what this game actually feels like when you're playing in a higher level. And if you want a taste of it, a small taste of it, you want to do my 10-mans. Join my 10-mans in the Discord, and you'll get a better understanding of what it's like. Like, it feels better. It's more fun. People are communicating. Even people who are losing in my 10-mans are enjoying it. Because at least you're working together. Instead of, like, you know, banging your head against the wall, which is so consistent. But yeah.
When I watched scrims for the team I was managing over, it was like, this is kind of refuel my competitive fire, because like that's the stuff I miss. Like, I can play ranked all day and not care, but how they play it, it's like that's what you want to play the game like.
Yeah, 100%. It's hard to do that. You have to change the words. You can't IGL. So there's a few things you got to change differently to be able to appeal to the audience that you're playing with in terms of the people in your ranked games, right? Some people you're just not going to get along with, whole different situations like that. But for the most part, it's like the words you change. We talked about it today. Bait me for this kill instead of play off my contact. You know, like, you're appealing to the audience. Everyone in this game in ranked cares about stats, so play to that advantage. They want stats? Okay, no problem. If you're not going to follow me in as a duelist, and I'm an entry fragger, and you're just going to sit there on the entranceway, then you need to communicate the proper protocols or things that you're going to say to them to get them to do the things that you want them to do. That's a skill on its own. It's a different form of IGL in ranked versus in an actual team play environment. So,
Yeah.
Awesome. Azza, had a really great time today, and I'm hoping that was super helpful for you, and I would love to do more in the future.
Oh yeah, I'll be getting more. I'm just uninstalling Tracker right now.
Beautiful. That's a great step. Great step forward. You definitely want to eliminate that area. But yeah, so if you know of anyone else that would benefit from this, like your team, for example, I would love to do team VOD. Team VODs I do for $100 as well. So if you're interested in doing that, and get
I already
everyone...
told them that they will be getting a team VOD from you.
Beautiful.
So it's in the works. I just gotta. They're currently in the process of finding the 5th player right now, so I don't want to do anything trial-wise just yet.
Yeah, once you're ready to go.
5th, yeah.
Yeah, give it like once you get the 5th, give it like a week after you guys play together, and then we can sit down and we can discuss things. Get a couple VODs together that you want to go over. The team VODs will probably go anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. It's a long one because we're going to be really digging deep on macro play and whatnot, and how to like path around each other and all that good stuff. So yeah, it'll be a little frustrating in the beginning because everyone's gonna be playing like a ranked player, but you can't blame them for that. They'll get together eventually.
I told them it's like the hardest mindset will be getting out of the ranked mindset and into the competitive one,
Well,
I think
here's
Overwatch. That was the hardest thing to figure out.
yeah. Here is the one thing you can start doing is you can tell them when they start getting down on themselves, ask them how many hours they have in the game. They're gonna be like, "Well, I have 2,000. I have this many that da, 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 da," right?" And they're gonna be like, "Okay, that's great. How many hours do you have playing in ranked? I had this many thousand. Great. How many hours do you have playing scrims? I got 3. Oh, okay. So you're telling me that you're really good at this game, but you've only played 3 hours of it. Because guess what? This game's completely different than ranked. It's a whole different game. So you've only got 3 hours, and you're expecting to be an immortal level or a radiant level when you've only got that much time in it? Sorry. Works differently. It's a different game. Treat it like such, right?
Yeah.
Batsy, what's your rank? Batsy's like, I can be their 5th. What's your rank, Batsy? Nervousness says 1v1 for it. Yeah, there's a lot of people. You can put your looking for 5th.
Yeah,
Plat 2.
It has to be an Immortal 2 or above for 3 acts, and I need a flex player currently right now. That's what I'm looking for the most.
Okay, so I don't qualify for your team then. I haven't been Immortal for 3 acts, so I can qualify.
I will always take
experience,
competitive experience into play. Like I had one guy, he was an IGL for my old team I was with. He was, sitting in Diamond 2, 1,000 hours of tournament and.
Oh, I'm losing you.
So I was like, I will take.
Can you say that again? Sorry, you were lagging a little bit. Can you try that again?
Oh. Yeah, he was Diamond 2, the old IGL we had for him, but he had 1,000 hours of scrim time and tournament play. It's like I will take that over your rank any day of the week.
That's good. That's a smart mindset because there's a lot of people who are just like, "Oh, you're only a radiant this one time, whatever." It's like, okay, bro, chill. It's a different game, man. It's a different game. Yeah. Ranked's a different game. I've never been great with ranked. I've been better with team play because it just makes more sense to me. So
I feel like because I've done 10-mans with those guys before, and I feel like I play a lot better in a 10-man environment than a ranked environment.
Yeah. Sometimes. I agree with that. Like I was scribbing at Grandmaster's level, and I got up to Diamond in ranked. But like Grandmasters, I was carrying. I'm like, this actually makes sense. This is all flowing properly, right? It's like, doesn't make any sense.
If you're used to team play, it's perfect. If you're not used to it, then ranked is your big.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, Asa, we will chat real soon again. We will be doing 10-mans at 9 if you want to join us. I can't play tonight because I got to make a TikTok and I got to get to work early in the morning, but I will be on for Monday night if you wanted to join that too.
Yeah, I'll probably be on Monday. We got trials tonight, so I won't be in there for that one.
Nice. If you have any questions, feel free to fire away. I've coached a few teams already now, so anything you need.
Cool, I appreciate it.
Definitely, my friend. Thank you so much. And if you know of anyone else, like I said, word of mouth, best way that my business grows. All right? Thank you, buddy. I'll give you all the information later.
Perfect.
So yeah, so I'll give all the VOD and the notes and whatnot for later. So once I get it all set up after the stream. Alrighty. Whew. We're almost there, guys. One more to go. One more to go. We have a Viper VOD coming up next. I think I'm a good ass a flex player. You're a flex player. Last actor was 7-2. Yeah, Batsy, unfortunately they need immortals. Unless you've got a lot of land experience or something like that. Alright, we have an Icebox VOD to finish up on. Ishigo! Let me just mention him real quick. I gotta go to the bathroom, guys. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Chat. There you are.
Hello, team.
Hello.
How's everyone going today? Nothing in good.
Well, if my last one doesn't show up, if he no-shows me, I can probably 10-man tonight. We'll see. That's possible. Alrighty, I will be right back. I'm gonna give him 2 minutes. Just go to the bathroom really quick, and then we'll get right into it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and joining me for this. Appreciate you all. We're not done yet. We got one more to go, then 10 minutes afterwards. Be right back.